Live from Manchester Morgue mostly contains spoilers. Mostly.
This is not a dream. We are using your preferred podcast provider as a receiver.
Hello and welcome to Live from Manchester Morgue, where we pick two horror films we think would make for an excellent double bill. I am Gary, and joining me via Ouija board is the spirit of Ken. Hello, Ken.
Hello on my Apple Ouija board.
Ken isn't really dead.
Yeah.
Joking. Speaking of dead Kens, though, do you remember when you told everyone Ken Forey was dead?
Was it? I did that, didn't I? I did do
You
that.
did.
It's just one of them. It's one of them
Good
people that you
times.
assume is dead.
I don't know if he'd like you saying that about him. He was in Manchester like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he was at For the Love of Horror.
He
Yes.
was at For the Love of Horror, was good old Ken Forey, who is not dead.
Yeah.
Um, right, Ken, tonight we're going to get folked up, Ken.
Is that it? Is that the joke? That just sounds like a sentence that you've just said to me.
Folked up, because we folked up isn't
Oh,
a
I see. I
sentence.
see. I see. Wordplay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say fucked up. I said. Anyway, we're covering.
You stole that. You stole it from the Fucking Hell
No, I haven't,
podcast because
because
that's what
it's
they do. Because that's how
what
they
we were.
reappropriate the word folk into fuck.
We're here first, as we're covering David Bruckner's The Ritual and Ben Wheatley's Kill List. It's a bit of a folk horror sort of theme
Why? Why
today.
did you make me watch Kill List again?
It's fucking mint. What's wrong with
It,
Kill List?
it's horrible. It's a
Oh, it is.
horrible
You
thing to
know what? I
watch.
was watching it, and there were bits where I genuinely forgotten just how brutal it was. I was going, oh, it's
Yeah,
it's very bleak. It's such an excellent film, though.
it's fantastic. Yeah, it's
But as usual, if you've not seen The Ritual or Kill List, recommend you watch them first before you listen to us waffle on about them because we'll spoil them heavily,
espe-
probably.
especially Kill List because the main talking point of the film is something that happens in the story in the last 15 minutes. So
Yeah, I mean the final act, the last 15 minutes, it's everything gets turned on its head, and we can't talk about the film without talking about that, which will spoil it absolutely. So do go and watch Kill List, it's mint, and The Ritual. Um, First up, however, some listener comments. But we'll also be announcing the competition winners for the posters today.
oh, I forgot about that
Yeah, I
because
almost nearly
because
forgot
you
about
organize
it.
everything and I don't think about
Well,
those things.
you know, I left it going. I wanted to make sure everyone had a good shout at getting in it. So we'll announce that the return, the much heralded return of our on again, off again feature. How many cats are in it? Because there is a
Yes,
cat in Kill
it's in my
List.
notes. It's right at the top of my Kill List notes. Yes.
Ah, excellent. I mean, doesn't bode well for the cat, but you know.
No.
And actually, you know what? I've had an idea, and we're going to do a little brand new feature today that I'm going to surprise you with in a little while. You'll
Great.
like it. It's good. You'll like it. It's fun.
All these new things are surprises to me as well because we just don't talk outside of the
No, we
podcast.
don't. We don't. Well, we probably will do soon because a big life event's happening for you, isn't it, Ken?
Yeah, I'm getting resurrected. I will no longer be a resident of the morgue.
It's gonna be like that guy out of Hellboy too, like gas in a spacesuit. Right. Anyway, we got a nice follow up from the episode of the Living Dead. I don't know, 25 maybe was it? Dabk on the Moon said, "I wanted to reach out and say thank you for recommending such a treasure in the zombie genre. In my headcanon, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue works perfectly as a prequel to 28 Days Later.
Oh, great.
The way the machine drove the insects mad and the scientist's explanation of how the radiation affects the nervous system feels like an early prototype of the rage virus. Was really thrilled to find the film and really enjoyed it. Well,
Oh,
thank you. Glad you did.
what cool headcanon.
That's really cool headcanon, isn't it? Because they've even got weird eyes.
Yeah,
Like they haven't got standard eyes. They've got like rage virus eyes.
they have that like I don't think I remember anything on any interviews with Danny Boyle where he says he took that as inspiration, but it feels like the only two zombie properties where they've got like blood red eyes is it's those two
and
really.
and they're filmed in Manchester.
Yeah,
Right, okay. Well, maybe, yeah, good headcanon. I like that theory. And also, there's a bit, isn't there, in Manchester Morgue where the sort of the patient zero dead fella, he uses like he gets blood out of his eyes and brings someone back to life with blood, doesn't he? Wipes it
yeah.
on their face or something. So it could be a bloodborne pathogen, certainly. Interesting. Curse says this was about his house and what was the other one we did? His house and Under the Shadow.
Yeah,
Great show. Thank you for the recommendations. No, thank you for listening. I like that people seem to be discovering films because we talk about them, which is I think that's really cool. Like kind of the mission of the show, really, isn't it? Is to
that's
get
all we want.
it's all we want.
That and world domination.
And one more comment: world domination. I'm too tired for that. I'm too old for world domination.
That's very true.
Right, this is from Khalifa. Khalifa got in touch and said, "Why haven't I met Ken?"
I don't know.
Well, you're gonna have to answer that. I can't answer that, can
Do you frequent any morgues on a regular basis?
I?
There's
I
not that
don't
many
know.
morgues in Manchester. You'll find us eventually.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's the titular like Manchester Morgue. I don't think they call it the Morgue in Manchester, though, do they? It's like mortuary, isn't it? It's a
That's a
bit
cooler
lame.
word.
Well, it is, but we're not live from Manchester Mortuary, are we? I think because I really wanted to go down and get a picture of it, like the morgue sign, and there isn't one because it's not called a morgue.
You wanted to go and visit the morgue.
Well, to take a picture of the morgue sign, yeah, not to see dead things. I mean, I would do that, but that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the motivation. The
Just go
motivation was,
to go to the MRI and just like, can I take a picture? Will you let me in? Can I take a picture of your morgue?
yeah,
Not
can
in the
I?
morgue.
You know what? I'd really genuinely be curious to see if morgues do look like they do in films. You know, like in like Body Bags, the John Carpenter film, where they're all in like drawers, or
Yeah,
any film with a morgue, they're all in drawers. Is that real? Is that what they look
they
like?
must be. TV doesn't lie to us, Gaz.
No, probably not. I mean, there must be some sort of universal corpse filing system. You'd think. I'm going to find out. I'll report back anyway. So shall I announce the winners of the competition?
Yes, please.
Ironically, Dabke on the Moon has won a poster. Dave the Expat, your name came out of that as well.
Yes.
I know that's good news, isn't it? Dave the Expat, you've won a poster. And there's another Dave off social media whose name was in the hat who I pulled. So he's got another one. So that's all three. Dabke on the Moon, Dave the Expat, and Dave, the other Dave.
The other Dave,
Get in
henceforth.
touch in some way, shape, or form. Probably killertunes976 at gmail.com is the best bet at the moment because fucking Instagram has banned our second morgue account for some
Oh
reason.
my God. We can't
Suspended
do
it,
the
not banned it.
socials.
No, I don't know what it is, but anyway, yeah, just email us your address and we'll post them out to you. Thank you for entering.
Thank
Now
you.
then, right, can I tell you about this new feature that I came up with?
Sure.
It's quite fun, I think. So, like people like to play along with quizzes on the radio and stuff. Did you ever listen to Radio 2 when Ken Bruce was on it doing Popmaster
I
or
did not.
similar? No, well, it's just a pop quiz, basically. People would ring in. We can't ring in because we pre record the show. But I thought, just for the listeners at home, it might be fun just to do a mini quiz, right? Just three questions, nothing, not for any, you don't win anything, just to take part in the show, sort of, while you're listening. We'll do three questions. I'll read the tagline of three horror films, that goes on the marketing, the posters, the tagline, yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll just give it 10 seconds, then I'll reveal them. You can participate, Ken, if you want. You can try and guess them at the end of the 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
You up for
Okay.
it? All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go.
So I'll read all three. I'll give it 10 seconds, and then we can reveal. All right. So number one, sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die.
Oh, come on.
Well, I've got to
Make
start
it
easy.
hard.
Got to start easy, right? It'll get harder as the show progresses in time.
Okay.
Number two, who will survive and what will be left of them?
Oh, at the same time as absolutely knowing that the title's gone.
And finally, number three, whoever wins, we lose.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, pretty easy. All right, you're going to start your 10 seconds now.
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. So
Boo.
so you did an English, a British quiz show, and I was doing like an American
Were you
quiz
doing
show.
Jeopardy or some
Yeah, I
shit?
was doing Jeopardy. Yeah. Do 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 do.
Okay. Right. Well, we can mix that up next time. Anyway, right. Three answers. Ken, what's number one? Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. Who will survive and what will be left of them? This tested you, I
Oh,
think.
right. Uh, I know it's a very, very famous
It's very famous.
tagline.
It's a very famous film. We love it on the show. We've talked about it.
Oh, it's
It's
Hellraiser, right? No.
no.
Oh, they'll tear us all apart. It's
Yeah,
Hellraiser.
it was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh God. Ugh,
And
damn it.
finally, whoever wins, we lose.
AVP.
AVP. I was browsing this and a Reddit post came up with taglines on it, and someone said that's bollocks though because humanity didn't lose in the end of the film, and then someone replied and said actually humanity did lose due to the film being released.
Yeah, kin right.
Made me laugh. What have you watched this week?
Let's do. Usually I go shit to good. We'll go good to shit this time.
All right, start on a high note.
I watched Damien McCarthy's Hokum. I know
Oh,
you're not a fan of Damien McCarthy. I didn't really like.
I find them creepy. I just don't find them immersive enough for me. I
So
don't know.
I think you'll warm a bit more to Hokum. So
I like
Caveat
the
and Oddity are very kind of their mood pieces. They're very, very chilling imagery with a lot of cold, kind of slow paced in between. I think Hokum is a bit of a mix. It's a bit more accessible. You've got the Adam Scott performance at his
I
center, which
like
makes
Adam
it,
Scott. Mhm.
yeah. Adam Scott makes it accessible. It's a bit funnier. It's a bit more rapid with its scares, but it's got
Okay,
that same Damien McCarthy pacing and genuinely creepy as fuck imagery. And it's a really dope witchy story. It's a good witch story.
that's cool. I mean, to be honest, in spite of the fact that I've not loved his previous films that I've seen, I do quite want to see Hokum. It looks good from everything I've read about it and seen all the imagery I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's I really enjoyed it. It's one of my films of the year. We should do a film horror film of the year countdown in
All right,
December.
yeah, we did that last year, didn't we? We haven't done one. Yeah, we should probably do that soon. We did it midway last year, which is June, which is next month.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
I
think
wa
about that.
I watched. Did I talk about Apex last time? I can't remember. We had a short break between episodes, so I watched Apex, which is I suppose it's like a wilderness thriller, but it dips over into horror because Taron Egerton plays like a psychopath cannibal with his teeth filed down, so it's basically a horror film.
That sounds like a horror
Um,
film.
Yeah, Charlize Theron, who is a survivalist who has a tragedy happen in the opening scene, then ends up in the Australian outback on her own, pursued by Taron Egerton's absolute nutball.
Wow.
Really, really good. Egerton's dead fun as a serial killer obsessed with like being an apex predator, etc. Charlize Theron really kind of understated performance. She barely speaks. She's mostly just running away and kind of beating the shit out of her attacker, which is great.
Sounds a bit like Revenge.
Yes, it bears a big resemblance to Revenge. Apart from the fact that I don't think Charlize Theron is ever really in peril for most of the film. She's always on
Right.
equal pegging with her pursuers.
Okay, cool. All right.
Um,
Sounds fun.
and then yeah, it was fun. And then right at the bottom of the doldrums, I watched Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Oh, I forgot there was a first one, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first one, and I'm the sort of person who's watched hours and hours of theory videos and law throughs of the Five Nights at Freddy's films because whatever Scott Cawthon did with those games, he managed to weave in quite a decent and engrossing horror, like world building.
Okay.
So
I've briefly played the first one. I know nothing really about them.
yeah, each one kind of builds, and I think every game adds little Easter eggs that contribute to the rich tapestry that is the overarching narrative, and that's why it got so popular on YouTube because people would be, doing jump scare playthroughs, and then other people would be doing theories about how the whole story hangs together. So the first film when it came out, it got that ball rolling with the weird, complex story mix of supernatural and killer animatronics and stuff.
Yeah,
And it was okay. I enjoyed the first film. It was good. The second film is just shite. It's just they earned a bunch of money from the first film, so they've stuffed a whole bunch of lore, too much lore and complexity into the second one. But on top of that, it's just bloodless because it's marketed towards kids,
yeah.
and despite the fact that it's like 12A, it's going to be watched by young kids. So there's, I tell you what, 2 hours and I don't think there was a drop of blood in it.
Oh,
Maybe. A
pointless.
kid, I mean, a kid gets stabbed at the beginning,
Hey,
which is great for us as a show that appreciates kids getting killed. But
a
we've
bit
got
more
some of
than we
that for you
probably should.
tonight. We've got some of that for you tonight.
Oh, we do, don't we? Fuck
We
me.
do. But
Yeah,
that's it. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, bag of shit. It earned absolute bank, and there will be a Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
yeah, sure, yeah. Well, that segs nicely into my what have you watched? Because I was going to tell you about a game that I started the other day. It was on a free play day, so I've not played it all the way through. So I basically played like a demo of it because it was available for one night.
Yeah.
Predator Killing Grounds.
Oh, I've played that. I did a review of that way
Did
back
you?
when. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out a while, isn't it? I don't know why they're just suddenly doing a free play day, but it was all right. I had a bit of a laugh as the
It's
Predator.
fine.
I played one. I played the tutorial where you play as the Predator. So it's like a glorified 360 game, and it's like it's you run through the trees, which is fun, and you can go into it makes all the cool film noises like when you go wow like that and go invisible.
Yeah.
You can do the you go into heat infrared heat vision with the same noise, and it's quite fun for that. Um, the best bit was reading about when you can customize your predator. You can get various masks from. You can get the 87 one. You
Yeah.
can get AVP one, the Scar one. You can get the one that's got the. It's like a bone jaw on it. I don't know if it's from Predators or something. I forget now.
I think it is, yeah.
Various
Yeah.
films, Predator masks are in there, which is cool. But it tells you like in the tutorial bit, it's parkour right through the trees, but they call it predcore. And
Sure.
then right when you're changing the masks, the dreadlocks are called predlocks.
Oh, come on. I don't. Uh, sure.
Fucking, it was so silly. It made me laugh. But yeah, it's got. I tried to play it again before we started the show tonight, just to get a bit more of a feel for it. But the 3 day play is over, so and I was not inspired to purchase it. So give it a
Yes.
go
When I
if you want.
when I got a review code for it, it feels like 2, 3 years ago now. It's old game, as you
It's
say.
not like old, is it? But
Old, not
it's
old, but yeah. It's a asymmetric multiplayer, so it's like you're a
yeah,
squad of whoever's versus a
and one
predator.
person plays the predator in the night somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, and I remember playing it with a mate because I had to kind of experience the co-op for the review,
yeah.
and he knew nothing about Predator, and it was incredibly frustrating to play the game.
Wow, wow.
So like I couldn't even enjoy the game for its IP because I was playing with someone that didn't really, you
Well,
know.
that's a shame. I only really enjoyed the IP aspect of it, to be honest. It
Yeah,
didn't
100%.
grab me. Film wise, I watched Wolfman, the Lei Whannell one from last year.
Oh, is it your first watch?
Yes, yeah,
It's an interesting film.
I quite
It's not
liked it.
great.
It's not brilliant. I mean, I think it's kind of needlessly derided. I've read a lot online, people slating it because it's not kind of werewolfy enough. Like,
No.
but I think he's done a kind of a made it more like an illness kind of thing, which is I mean, I guess that's kind of how it would be. I guess
Yeah.
lycanthropy. I mean, they blamed any kind of illness that made you go a bit, bloodthirsty in hundreds of years ago. They blamed it on lycanthropy, didn't they? So that's obviously come into play there a bit, and it has to be like his Invisible Man, which is far far superior. It's sort of there's a bit of a grounded in reality element to it. It's not just supernatural hokum. There's definitely like a viral contagion element to it that it plays more on. Um, like the Invisible Man. It wasn't just a potion that you drank; it was like a suit, wasn't it? Like kind of like bent, like
Yeah,
a bit like the Predator armor, I guess,
I think
cloaking device kind of thing.
yeah, you're right. It is like lycanthropy as a disease. It's very similar to the fly in that sense.
It
In
is.
that,
I think it borrows from the Fly, doesn't it? Quite a bit.
yeah,
It's clearly influenced by it.
a lot of it is the loved one who has to watch another loved one kind of degrade. I mean, the relationship is already strained at the beginning of the
Yes.
film, and then they have to like physically pull away from each other. Yeah, I think I did enjoy it on its own terms. I think I was a bit disappointed as it was his follow-up to Invisible Man, which is basically a perfect film. Um,
Yeah. Invisible
uh,
Man rules.
and I am. It makes me sound like a bit of a, I did want a bit more bloodshed from my werewolf movie.
Well, no, I would as well. I think that's where it was lacking, really. It had some great body horror, right? And
Mm.
I think good werewolf films probably should have an element of that because people are transforming into these beasts. But that was kind of it. There weren't enough people in it to have a body count, were there?
No, there's like
It was,
four people in the whole film.
yeah. And Julia Garner's great, and she's reduced to running and screaming most of the time, which
Yes.
is a bit shit as well. If you got, I mean, it's a shit trope to have a woman do that anyway. I mean, it's a horrifying situation, right? These things happen. You probably would act like that in that sort of scenario, but don't waste Julia Garner.
No. And if you sit, and obviously anyone that's seen Weapons
Yeah,
um, knows what she's capable of in the
exactly.
genre. So yeah.
I mean, I suppose this predated it, but at the same time, she's, as a director, you should be getting the best out of. Well, I mean, I don't think she did badly in it. I don't think she was given a great deal to work with beyond running and screaming. So it's, you know, anyway, it was all right. I think there are very few great werewolf movies. It was good and I enjoyed it. But
I personally like the Joe Dante one. You know, the one that was butchered by the studio, the Benicio del Toro one.
the Wolfman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I quite like that one. I think it was more monstrous. It was more of a werewolf film.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good laugh. That one, a good laugh. I mean,
It
people
was a
get
good laugh,
murdered,
yeah.
but it was fun. And then I watched. See, if you were ever following the Instagram account, you might have seen this because I was on there for approximately 10 minutes before they suspended the account. A film called Found from 2012.
Yeah, that I saw that pop up. I've not seen that, I don't think.
It's like micro budget, like 8 grand budget, and it shows. I respect the effort made to put in a film together, but it's some of the acting is absolutely atrocious. The two leads are great. Ethan Philbeck and Gavin Brown were really good in it. Everyone else is absolutely awful.
Okay.
And it's trying to go for like a one of the things I always hear about people say about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is it feels like you're watching something you shouldn't be watching.
Yeah.
You're watching something unfold that you shouldn't be seeing. You're like a snuff film almost, which it
Mm.
is. That and like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, right? Is going for that kind of vibe, but it doesn't do well enough because the acting's just too poor.
Okay.
It's really heavy handed in its tropes. There's a lot of bullying going on and justification for violence. And a really weird like the plot is there's a kid and his brother, and he found out his brother is a serial killer. And there's no ambiguity there. He's absolutely 100% a serial killer. You know this from the get-go. It's not like is he, isn't he? He definitely is. And it's him coming to terms with it. But then you find out later on that he's a serial killer because he hates black people and he doesn't say black people. He says that word, right? So
Okay.
there's like a pointless sort of racist bent to it. Like it just feels like it's trying to be shocking. And then at the end, he he goes off and like kills his whole family. Then he rapes the mum off screen. So there's an incest violence, sexual violence thing going on there that doesn't need to be there at all. Like he was a serial killer already. He didn't need to do all these things. It was just trash film.
Unnecessarily grabby.
Yes, Grebby.
Yeah, grabby.
All right, yeah, sure.
Just like, grimy, dirty, kind of
I've never
gratuitous.
heard that word before, but I'll take
Grabby.
your word for it. But yeah, it was.
We'll add it to the Morgue dictionary.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it was a bit grabby then. I wasn't impressed with it. So it came up on a list of films the way most shocking and disturbing, and I do watch those for to see whether they're any cop because sometimes they're really good. And it was not, unfortunately. So if you want to be triggered, maybe watch that. But otherwise, it's I'd probably leave it. But if you want to feel just bankrupt and hollow at the end of a serial killer experience, watch Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah.
um,
I have a framed picture of Henry the Portrait of a Serial Killer, like right just above my face while I'm
I've
talking to
seen
you.
that when we've been on Zoom and we've had the camera on. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
a few posters up there, don't you? Um,
Yeah.
right, we best get into these films. But I Kill List really struck a chord. A lot of people commented on this week's choices, so I'll just dive through these if that's all right.
Sure, go ahead.
Brian on Blue Sky said of tonight's films, two of my favourites. Kill List is Ben Wheatley at his best. It's brutal and the ending messed me up. The Ritual also does folk horror really well. Alex Jerry says Kill List is next level, which it is. Tom Coombe, The Ritual has a very cool monster, and Kill List is a masterpiece. True. Folk in Hell, who you said I ripped off earlier. The Ritual is a more traditional folk horror, but extremely effective. Yes, it is. Nice Joe Green. Kill List is incredibly underrated and underseen. One of my top 10 favourite films of the 21st century. Good lad. Ian Nicholson. Kill List is absolutely outstanding. Folk horror as if shot by Mike Leigh. Love that film. Mogadon, the way Ben muffled the dialogue on Kill List to fuck with you was such a pro move. And The Ritual, holy shit, what a creature.
Oh yeah.
Finally, Horror Poster Guy, Kill List is an absolute masterpiece. So, thank you all for sharing your thoughts on these. And everyone seems to really like Kill List.
Yeah, so are we gonna get started? Are we gonna start with that?
Start with it. So,
Let's
well,
start
just
with the bleak one because
well,
the
yeah, it's more
ritual's
bleak.
basically
They're
a
both kind of
romantic
bleak.
comedy based on like next to Kill List.
Well, next to that, I mean, I think they're both bleak, but this is there are shades of bleak, and this is the darkest shade of bleak is the Kill List.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
it's
let's start
interesting.
with how many cats are in it.
Oh, there's
There's
a cat. There's a single
there's
cat.
one cat in it.
It
So
doesn't do well.
no, no. If you ever listen to our episode on the French Extreme, you know, we talked about the film Inside. Cat in that doesn't do well. The cat in this does not do well. If you love cats, just you know, be careful going in because something bad's going to happen to a cat.
Yeah.
Because it's triggering, isn't it? You know, if you lost a cat or whatever, you don't want to go into a film and then a cat unexpectedly gets run over or something. You know, it's
The,
not.
so it's a really so you were saying before about gratuity in the found film that you saw and like when shit starts to slowly be revealed to be hitting the fan in Kill List, the
Yeah.
cat dies,
Mm-hmm.
and Neil Maskell's character, the main character, has
Jay.
a really good Jay. He has a really good line of dialogue where he's like, "I fucking love that cat," and Michael
Yeah.
Smiley's character's like, "Oh, I never knew," and
Neither
then
did I.
Jay says, "Neither did I until now," which is a
Yeah.
really good. It's a really good pinpoint of where his character is at that particular point in the narrative, and it kind of makes that scene of them discovering the cat serve a really good storytelling purpose, which is, I guess, a testament to Ben Wheatley's writing.
Yeah. So
Um,
just if a brief synopsis, two ex-military guys are offered what you assume to be a substantial amount of money. Does it tell you how much money's in it?
I think it. No, I think all that stuff's kind of nebulous.
Yeah, they get offered a lot of money to basically uh, go and kill a bunch of people on a list as hitmen, hence the name Kill List.
Hmm.
And other things are going on, which is slowly revealed as the film progresses.
Very subtly revealed. Like, I think we get 10, 15 minutes into a very domestically disruptive dinner, and we
Yeah,
get the first hint of sum it up as as she scrawls a symbol onto the back of the picture
that's
frame.
right. And again, just to reiterate this, if you haven't seen Kill List, really do go and watch that before you listen to this because it's worth it. It's such a good film and it will completely ruin it for you if you haven't already seen it, because the ending is it's not to be considered before you've seen the film. You need to go and watch the film first.
And with that out of the way,
Yeah, let's talk
uh,
about the spoiler.
yeah, Ben Wheatley himself describes the premise as hitmen versus Satanists. So
Yeah,
that's it.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you touched upon the dinner scene at the beginning. There's an undercurrent throughout this film of it's not like overtly horror, but the darkness beneath suburbia. There's always it's like it hints it's like there's something underneath it the whole time, whether it's Jay and his quite obvious PTSD,
yeah,
um, flying off the handle in a rage at a domestic dinner party. There's no domestic violence on his part. I think she hits him a few times. His partner hits him a few times.
yeah,
Um, but they're clearly struggling. The money's gone. He's not quite himself. The skin. There's a kid involved. There's screaming in front of the kid, and this is all real stuff that happens in suburbia. And on top of that, there is also something very much horror based going on just underneath it that you don't know about. That starts to be hinted at about, as you say, 15 minutes or so into the film, where the other hitman, Gal, his new girlfriend that he comes around for this dinner party we're talking about, and she wanders off to the bathroom and she scrolls this weird symbol on the back of the mirror in the bathroom. It's like you don't know why she's done it or what it means. And then she also nicks earlier that day, Jay had been shaving in that mirror and cut himself, and there's blood all on this tissue, and she nicks it and she puts it in a bra with his blood
yeah,
all over it.
yeah.
So it's very sinister. You don't really know what's going on, but as I say, there's just like from right from the get go, there's undercurrent of like badness and unwellness kind of happening.
Yeah, it's the tension and the darkness that's already there. Like it's interesting that one of our listeners described it as compared it to Mike Lee because Wheatley himself. I think that the main premise is based on a film, heavily based on a film called Race with the Devil, a 1975 film starring Warren Oates about normal people in a camper van outrunning Satanists. But
Okay.
the general tone of the film and the direction of the writing is based on the work of the likes of Alan Parker, who's a famous British creator, famous for kind of shining a light on the darker aspects of Britain, of society. He's the guy that made Scum.
Oh right.
For anyone who's unfortunate enough to have watched that, um, so that comparison is quite apt. It is. I think I said last week at the films we were talking about, they're like kitchen sink dramas with horror in them, and Kill
Yeah.
List is very much that.
Yeah. It is.
Wheatley himself calls it a social realist horror, which is a perfect description.
Well, it is. I mean,
Um,
so much of it is about the domestic life around it, isn't it? And it's so expertly done.
and it is great genre misdirection as well. I have in my notes, I swear to God, any film that has any sort of genre misdirection, I just compare it to Dusk Till Dawn. And even though Dusk Till Dawn is its own is very tonally separate from a lot of these films, specifically this film, it's really easy to describe to someone. If you try and sell a film to someone and you're like, it's one thing, but actually it's the other towards the end, and they're like, what do you mean? And you go Dusk Till Dawn, they're like, I get it.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
the
it
frame.
now.
That's the frame of reference, isn't it? For anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean. Which
So it's
this
that.
does.
It does, and it's very apart from the very, very subtle hints. I mean, I saw this at cinema when it first came out. Um, and apart from the very subtle hints, you don't ever really know what's going on. You don't think it's horror. I don't remember I don't remember reading a review or like watching a trailer or anything. I was just like I'd watched Down Terrace, which is Ben Wheatley's first feature, which is a domestic crime thriller. Very, very good. I like the whole, like you say, that like we've talked about the reality of it, the grim reality of like British life
Yeah.
told through crime cinema, etc. So I went to see Kill List, And I had no inkling until that scene in the forest where they've all got torches and they're all bollock naked.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
I'm like,
wouldn't, would
what
you?
is
You
this?
wouldn't know, would you? That well, this is obviously the link. Well, not the only link, but one of the links between tonight's films is, and why they make a good double bill is there's a massive folk horror element to both. Although in Kill List, only when you reach that point, there's people running about with like masks made of straw in robes. There's
Yeah.
torches. There's someone literally sacrifices themselves. They hang themselves in front of Jane Gal.
Are they covered in money?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Because
I don't
she's
don't know if I
dressed
saw that.
she's dressed in leaves like a ceremonial garb, and it looked like money.
It
I,
might have
I
been.
forgot to check.
I didn't pick up on that, and I haven't googled it. Sorry. Um, but it's weird, isn't it? Because like it's a folk horror in a way in that sense. I mean, the film is not a folk horror film that you consider in the in the main pantheon.
Well, we don't know what that is anymore, do we?
Well, no, this is the thing. We have this conversation, don't we? Folk horror is essentially a meaningless term now. I saw someone recently refer to weapons as a folk horror, which is fucking nonsense.
That's
Uh,
because it's got a witch in it, and witch is
yeah,
folklore.
exactly. But
So it's
people don't
but
understand. Yeah, but
yeah.
people think folk horror is because it's got folklore in it. I mean, that means the Lost Boys is a folk horror because it's got vampires in it. It's nonsense. You don't
I
know what
um
folk horror is.
I almost think, and I've been thinking about this since we started talking about it many episodes ago. I I'm starting to put my foot down and say, if a film if a film itself can be considered folklore by its whether it's world building or its ideological storytelling, then it's not folk. So
Well,
like if
no, but
you
that's not the folk element that folk horror was coined around, is it?
yeah, no.
The folk in folk horror, as you say, is about the people, as in folk. That's what folk means. But
Yeah.
folk also means sort of community practices, community art, community dancing. Hence the Wicker Man is a folk horror with all the weird Morris dancing shit in it. That's what it's about. Why I would make the argument, but I mean, there are tropes attached to it. Like unwelcome outsiders transgressing on these communities and stuff. That is a folk horror trope. I don't think
Yeah.
that makes a folk horror. But in the
But
same
it's
way that
certainly an aspect of these two films.
yes, absolutely, and that's why I would consider them to be folk horrors in their own way. It has those tropes, um, although very minimally in Kill List because it only starts in sort of the last 15 minutes. Does it become that? Um, but the same reason that I've made the argument before that I can kind of consider Candyman, the 1991, as a folk horror because it has
Candyman's folk horror, 100%.
yeah, because it has all those tropes, but it's essentially got a white woman unwelcome in a black community. She's transgressing there. They don't trust her. They don't want her there. Going after essentially a community folk tale.
Yeah.
The use of community art, graffiti throughout. It's that makes it folk. That's folk art. It's modern folk art, urban folk art.
Place is important, I think, in
And
folk.
she
A
gets
sense
fucking
of place.
sacrificed in a fire at the end of it. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
a folk horror. Anyway, the argument for Candyman as a folk horror, I think we've made it. If you disagree, let us know. But it's more of a folk horror than fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Weapons
back to
just
Killers.
have for like to end the argument, Weapons is a horror film that has a witch in it.
Yes,
It's not even a witch horror. It's just a horror film that has a
exactly.
witch in
It's
it.
not, exactly yeah.
It's a
It's
great
not a folk
film,
horror.
but yeah. Anyway.
You're entitled to your opinion. If you think it's a folk horror, that's fine. Tell us why. We disagree heavily.
um,
So back to Kill List. Another thing about the sort of urban realism of Kill List is the dialogue.
yeah.
There's a lot of I don't know, it feels improvised a lot of it. I don't know whether it was, or there's a lot of people talking over each other, which feels very natural and adds a new element to it. It makes it more believable.
Wheatley is fantastic with that, and I think he started off his career with like ads and TV series. I didn't know he was a major creator of that Ideal, that Johnny Vegas show.
Was he indeed? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because she was in it. Gal's weird girlfriend was in it, wasn't she? Can't remember
weird
her name
girlfriend.
now.
She
She was a weird girlfriend. She was his
yeah,
girlfriend, and she was weird.
and she's very creepy. Not
Yeah,
to disparage her appearance, but she's very creepy looking.
she's got a very unique look about her, and I think highlighted in the way it's presented in the film. She was obviously there for that reason. I think she's got an ethereal quality to her.
Yeah. But so he did that in his TV work and then into Down Terrace, which is what turned me on to Ben Wheatley, into this, into Sightseers. There's aspects of it in Kill List, and then he's lost it a bit. He lost it a bit in High Rise, and now he's basically directing blockbuster shark movies with Jason
I was going to
Statham.
say, what about the Meg too? That was what a
Yeah,
strange choice.
I think he's come back now. He's got that Bob Odenkirk film, Nowhere, which
Yeah,
and there's a black and white one with
Bulk.
yeah, that looks really good. That looks very
Yeah,
Wheatley-esque. Oh, we've got Field in England as well, which is very
Field
much
in England. Yeah,
folk
Field
film.
in England's great.
That's folk film.
Oh, and fucking In the Earth.
Yeah, so he's very good at that naturalism with whether it's dialogue or just generally he makes you there's a good sense of place in his films. Like
Yeah,
you feel like you're at the dinner table when they're having that argument. Maybe it's because I've been
it's
around a lot of domestic arguments in my life, but we'll
well,
not talk about that. We'll not talk
I've
about
my share.
that.
So I mean, that's dark in itself. It goes on to other dark things. He meets up with the boys both meet up with this guy who hires them, and he does this weird symbolic ritualistic. He slashes his hand open,
I
to do
tell you
like a.
what, he cuts right into his hand.
Don't
Like
he? He doesn't do that to himself. He cuts his own hand open. It's nothing like that.
he gives himself a little gash and then he just slices Neil Maskell's hand out in half.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a really good effect. He's pumping blood and shit. It looks painful. That
Oh, he
um,
gets infected later on as well,
he
doesn't he? And
does. Yeah,
he's got that
it,
big body rash.
I'd say this must be on purpose because it's Ben Wheatley. It's his left hand, and traditionally in satanic circles, the left hand path is the path of evil, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Is
So like left hand path following witches, for example, do harm and such, and it's his left hand he does it to his own left hand as well, which sort of further implies that he's not a very good guy.
yeah,
Um, so Jay, the other thing, one of the big themes here that why these possibly work so well as a double bill. Both have massive amounts of PTSD. The central characters are clearly they're both coming back from having dealt with some sort of traumatic incident, which they're trying to deal with and probably not very well in their own ways. Um, Jay's constantly on the edge of violence.
yeah.
Constantly. There's a bit where they go to the hotel and there's some religious people are there and they start singing and he basically threatens to murder the guy with the guitar. It was actually a very funny scene, but there's it's when you think about it, it's quite a genuinely um threatening sort of simmering undercurrent of violence there. Jay, you can tell that Jay is quite prepared to actually fuck the guy up for playing his guitar in this restaurant.
Well, that's what makes the casting of Neil Maskell perfect. He's phenomenal, and it's a shame that he's gravitated towards a lot of, I suppose, generic roles. I mean, he's worked with some big directors. He was in, some Guy Ritchie films and did a lot of
What, a
gangster.
Cockney guy in a Guy Ritchie film? How did that
Yeah,
happen?
yeah, yeah. He did a lot of gangster films with the that era of gangster films with Danny Dyer in, which I like, the Football Factory and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
Um,
ID and that.
yeah, but he's fantastic, and I think a side mention for this is, yeah. Have you ever seen Bull? 2021's Bull.
No,
So
no.
so that's a phenomenal film. I'd recommend it to everyone listening. Bull is another, well, because we're not covering it in the episode, I won't give it away, but it's another supernaturally tinged crime film
All
that's
right,
primarily a crime film, in this case, a revenge film, with Neil Maskell in the lead that has a bit of a supernatural twist.
all right. I'm
It's
sold on
very,
that.
very, very good film.
Sold.
Um, but yeah, he's very good at that, as you say, that simmering rage. Like he's a dangerous. You wouldn't want to be in a room with him.
Well, that expands, escalates. So he does this, as I say, it's quite a funny scene. He threatens to kill this guy playing a guitar. There's a
Yeah,
group of them playing. It's like it's not Kumbaya, but it's is it Onward Christian Soldiers
I
actually?
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he threatens to basically disappear him, um, which is ironic because just before that, his card gets declined when they're trying to pay for the hotel room, and then he rings Shell, his partner, to complain about it because it draws attention to them being hitmen when his card gets declined. And then he goes into the fucking restaurant of the hotel and threatens to kill this guy in front of all these witnesses. I'm like, come on, Jay. That's
Yeah.
not that's drawing attention to you there, love. But I think, I mean, again, he's clearly not himself, is he? And then they go, the first stop on the kill list is the librarian's lockup.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, fucking hell. So this is where the violence, this is where Jay lets the devil out, essentially.
Hmm.
They go to this lockup, find out what's in it. It's never, you don't see what's happening, do you? They watch some like DVDs, homemade DVDs.
You can hear
That
it.
you can hear it. It sounds essentially like children crying and screaming. So I'll let you do the maths on what's going on there. Um, and then instead of just killing the librarian who's keeping all this shit, Jay tortures him, smashes fuck out of his knees with a hammer. His fingers, you can see his fingers coming apart under the hammer blows. It's incredibly violent. Does not
Yeah.
flinch from it. Um, because they want to find out where. I mean, this isn't even part of the kill list, is it? At this point, they kill him, but they torture him because Jay wants to know who else is involved. Then he goes and
Yeah, he
hunts them
goes
down.
off list. That I think
Yeah,
is it Gal, the Michael Smiley's character? He says you've gone off list here.
yeah. Well, he has. Yeah, he's just killing people just for the sheer revenge of it, but also probably more to do with the fact that he just wants to commit violence because that's what's been going on under the surface for all this time, anyway.
And I think in with hindsight, the the Satanists probably love him doing that. That's the
Well, yeah, this is clearly why he's been
part of the
chosen from.
process. Yeah.
Yeah, so again, we're giving away the twist there, but essentially, it gets to the point where they get to this. They work their way through the list. They try and pull out of the deal because things are getting kind of weird, and they're told in no uncertain terms that, well, if you leave now, you will die and your families will die. So they kind of have to carry on. And the final stop on the list is this MP's house,
Of course,
and
the
this is
MPs are
where,
fucking Satanists.
yeah, exactly, and this is where they find all the naked people with straw masks, the folk horror freaky people at night. They're all around a big fire. There's a woman, she hangs herself. I think Jay just starts indiscriminately shooting because he's so sick of all the bullshit,
Sick of all the
sick
fucking
of all this
crazy
fucking
Satanist
pagan
bastards.
shit. Yeah.
And
Um,
they all turn into we get the Wilhelm scream. I don't know if you noticed
I didn't
because
notice the Wilhelm scream actually.
Ben,
I
ben
know there was that kind of quite weird animal sounding screams coming from them. I
yeah,
didn't hear
so
the
they all
Wilhelm.
start they all turn
That's
into
screeching more than screaming, isn't it?
yeah. There's a really good obviously because you don't get a lot of information from that aspect from the whole you don't even know it's Satanists really.
Yeah,
You don't get a lot of information, so it's really alarming that you're 5 minutes away from just discovering that oh it's crazy cult shit and
yeah,
then they all start running after them with these
yeah.
animalistic screams and you're like shit are they fucking
Screeching.
demons or something.
Yeah, yeah,
It's-
because they could be. You don't know, do you? You never. It's never really made clear if there's any sort of element of possession, but they make some fucking weird noises.
yeah, and by
Um,
this point all bets are off and you're like what the fuck is going on and there's 10 minutes left to go.
yeah. Here's the thing I noticed. There's a bit when they're staying in the hotel when Gal's weird girlfriend is outside the hotel at night, waving at
Waving
Jay.
at him, waving
No,
at
is
him.
she? I don't know if she's actually supposed to genuinely be there, or he's just hallucinating or dreaming it or whatever. It's not clear.
do
It
you
could be
know
either.
do you know what it made me think of? And a couple of things about this film made me think of Ari Aster's Hereditary
Oh yeah, good
because
shout.
the old woman that's a major part of the plot to summon Payman,
Yeah,
she kind of hangs around the school, doesn't she, and waves to
yeah,
Payman's host, and he doesn't know that he's Payman's host, but she's
yeah.
waving.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. It makes sense that she would be there, but I mean, as I say, equally, it could be that she's a figment of his imagination. However, she waves at him, and then when they get to that bit where the woman hangs herself before she jumps, she does the same wave at them. She waves at them. Well, she waves
yeah,
at the crowd. I don't know if it's supposed to be directly at Jane Gal because they're kind of concealed in darkness across the way, but she does the same wave as the woman does outside the hotel window.
Yeah, I think it is because as soon as he starts shooting, the MP just turns around and just opens his arms and waits to be killed.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
just
think they
because they're
know they're
expecting
there.
them. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then Gal sadly dies, which leaves Jay. Uh, he wakes up from unconsciousness to fight the final scene. The final
The
battle scene is called the
Hunchback.
Hunchback, and it's this kind of hunchback essentially with like covered in like roby things, and it's got a knife, and he has to fight it with a knife, and then he kills the Hunchback, and then the Hunchback is revealed to be his wife and his son, basically tied onto her back, creating the hunch. So he's murdered his family.
Son did a good job of being a human shield.
Yeah, he did. That was another thing I noticed. Like, so that's the thing. And right at the beginning of the film, he's having a sword fight with his kid, and he's on his mum's back. They have a sword fight. It
So yeah,
mimics that at the beginning.
I had that in my notes because I haven't, for obvious reasons, I haven't, and rewatched this film a lot, and I never noticed that foreshadowing before. It's
No,
so
I hadn't
obvious. They're
until
doing a
this
toy
time.
sword fight.
Yeah, at the very
Yeah,
beginning, mum and son on mum's back have a sword fight with Jay, and right at the very end they do the same thing for real, and he
very
kills them.
cheeky bit of foreshadowing. Cheeky.
Yeah, because there's no way you would see that coming a million miles away, would you?
No.
Fucking, and that's why it's such a good film. Anyway, and then he basically it seems that he's then accepted. He's proved himself and is accepted as evidently the leader of this cult. There are allusions to it that he could that I've read that he could be the Antichrist. You know, it could be like an omen kind of thing.
Right. Because I did wonder
That's
why.
the awakening of the him as the Antichrist. It could be that. It could be something far more simple, like the leader of a cult. But I don't
And
know.
that's why they're all so thankful, aren't they? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
because if he really was actually like Damien, essentially,
they'd be
then
buzzing to get
they'd be
killed by him.
honored to meet him and be murdered by him and tortured. Because that's what the librarian says when Gal fucks off for a bit. Jay's there, left torturing this librarian, and he says, "Thank you," doesn't he? Like he kind of whispers it. He says, "Before you go, I want to say thank you," or something along those lines.
Yeah,
Very,
that's
very fucking sinister.
yeah, yeah. Just and then it just fucking ends,
And then
and
it
then
just
you just
ends.
left.
You just left going, "Oh no."
You're left with that sound. So, like, one of our listeners mentioned the sound design, as well, and
Yes.
I've got that in my notes, and it's another parallel to Ari Aster's Hereditary. I can only assume that a filmmaker like Ari Aster has taken a lot of notes from watching films like this.
Yeah.
That low basal hum, the sounds
Yeah.
that offset. So I remember we covered Hereditary in an episode. It might have been from the old days, from the old podcast, and it was my first time seeing it at home, Hereditary, and I thought there was something wrong with my TV because it was like, what is that weird irregular bass sound? Is it like a problem with my TV speakers?
Mm.
And it's no, it's purposely Ari Aster put that into offset. Wheatley does the same thing here. He specifically added in sounds to constantly put you on edge and turn your stomach, and they're an interesting selection of sounds. I think in one interview he said they distorted the sound of a shark dying or something, or a
Wow.
shark call,
That's
and
pretty dark in itself.
that's one of the sounds that
Fucking hell.
plays to weird you fucking out when things are quiet.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
It was this show, by the way, because it was Hereditary and Rosemary's Baby. We did it as a double bill, so it would have been
Yes.
live from Manchester Morgue.
That's
Go
when I
back and
got
check that out.
when I got really annoyed and thought I was about to complain to Amazon Prime, and then I was like, no, it's part of the film.
Yeah. Well, weirdly enough, we just watched Reece Shearsmith on the Arrow Video Closet because they do the Criteria Closet thing, don't they?
Yeah.
And he talks about The Exorcist 3 and points that out that kind of that might have been I don't know the first use of it, but that scene, the jump scare scene. He
Yeah.
says there's that throughout. I don't know if it's that bit in particular. I forget now, but at points in that film, there's that kind of just under the radar sort of a background noise that you get in paranormal activity during all the nighttime scenes, where they're in bed. That kind of there's a
That
noise.
yeah, there is. There's a background hum.
Yeah,
Um
very unsettling when
it's
done
like
well.
white noise, isn't it?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the other one? Is it that makes you shit yourself? Is it brown noise? Actually, though, I'm sure it's called
Well,
brown
there
noise.
is a brown noise. I don't know if it makes you shit yourself.
There's one that purportedly makes you shit yourself. It's not happened to me yet. But,
The brown note. It's
day's
the
not over
brown note,
yet.
isn't it?
Yeah, the brown noise. I'm going to test that out right after this show.
Yeah.
Um,
Just run through all the tones in the
yeah,
world.
yeah. See if I shit myself. All right, we'll move on to the ritual then. So the
Oh,
ritual,
thank God.
yeah, we can talk about something slightly more light-hearted now.
It is. I
You know
love this
what? I
film.
just remembered as well. We did promise everyone if you managed to get through the entirety of the last episode, we said this time we'd do something fun, and we absolutely didn't. Kill list
No,
isn't fun. The
no.
ritual isn't really fun either. But we are going to do something fun next time. So if something a bit more light-hearted for you in the next episode to be revealed. But the ritual 20. Oh shit! I've not written the
17.
date down. 2017 was it that long ago? Nearly 10
Yeah.
years old. David Bruckner, who I don't love this film. I wanted to cover it because I think
No,
it's good. I
it is
mean,
good.
it's very highly regarded and rightly so. I think it's a good film. I'm not going to slag it off at all. Andy Serkis executive produced this. I didn't know until I watched it the other day.
Oh, wow. I
I
wonder if it
presume
had
it's
something
that
to do
Andy
with
Serkis.
I wonder if it had something to do with the effects for the creature, the
Or
Moder.
maybe, yeah, because there is a creature in this. It's kind of a creature feature on one hand. It's like a folk horror creature feature. Um, but yeah, Andy Serkis could well have been involved in that. I didn't put that together. Good shout.
Well, it's we say it's a creature feature. It's very similar in structure to Kill List, in that it's a 90-minute film, and the first hour and 10 is a bunch of mates getting stalked through a Swedish forest.
Slowly, something is building, but you don't know
Slowly,
what.
something is building, and then it turns into a full-on fucking creature feature in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what put me off it the first time I watched it. There's the opening dialogue and the scenes of them just trying to have a matey banter.
Oh,
It's quite bad. It's. I read. I read. I actually upgraded it to something like 3 stars on Letterboxd when I watched it this time. But I was reading the reviews and someone said this deserves a spot on the films that forced me to tell men apart for 2 hours list. And I, I think it's quite right because they're quite generic. The banter that they do is shit. There's no
this
real
is this is
character
a,
building.
yeah, you're right. This is a new phenomenon for me, right? I'm because I've always been such a fucking film nerd. I know who every actor who ever lived is, and I
Yeah,
could tell them by face. And so I think my fiance, she made me laugh once because I think we mentioned Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is a fantastic John le Carre adaptation with where Gary Oldman plays
Gary Oldman. Yeah.
Smiley the spy, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't like that film. It gives me white man blindness." And I'm like, What do you mean?" Like, I don't. I think she said it about Game of Thrones as well. Like the whole
Oh, I don't know
stretch,
about that.
whole scenes where she doesn't know who the fuck is anyone.
I mean, there's a lot of people to remember in Game of Thrones, to be fair. But I
Yeah.
mean, this is just, I mean, right. If you looked up some lads in a dictionary, there'd be a picture of these guys. They are the absolute fucking definition of some lads. Everything they do, the way they look, how they interact with each other, they are absolutely some lads, right? They're not very well flashed out at all. I don't give a shit about them.
I mean,
But
I knew Ray Spall from, obviously, he's Timothy Spall's lad, but
yeah,
he's the You've Got Red on You kid from Shaun
yeah,
of the
he is.
Dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, they
And
do that. They get the introductions out of the way because there has to be an overarching reason for the horror, which in this case again is a guy dealing with his PTSD right down to the end scene, and it
yeah,
gets these shitty bants out of the way and introduces you to these lads just to have a way into the horror. I think it's
well,
it's it's a good when the horror's going, the horror's good. It's a good horror film. It's just the characters are kind of lame to get there. It's not. I don't think it needed the PTSD bit. They could have just made a horror film about some guys in the woods, some
well, the thing
lads.
they don't. The thing is, they don't really use any of the actors. They become there's a social. So it's very much like Kill List in that there's this juxtaposition between British social dynamics, and I do say British because I think both Kill List and The Ritual, the relationships between the characters are distinctly British.
Yes, they
Um,
are. Yeah,
they have that dynamic, but and there's a central event which triggers the film, triggers
yeah,
the arc for um, Rafe Spall's character, which is something that we all are at risk of. He goes into a Tesco to buy some booze and it gets robbed.
yeah.
And I think he hides and his mate gets killed because, well, what would we do in that situation? It's one
Yeah,
of
I've
those
thought
sort of
exactly the
like,
same thing. His friends,
yeah,
basically, it transpires. It comes out later when they're all under a lot of stress. They're all mates with this lad who died. One of these lads. The lads are mates with this other
lads,
lad.
lads, lads.
The lads. And it turns out that a lot of them kind of hold this. I can't remember Ray Spall's fucking character's name. They hold him
Well,
responsible essentially
it's
for not
interesting.
acting upon if we're letting it happen. It's like, well, what would you have done? There's a lot of victim blaming essentially.
It's interesting that we were talking about the white man blindness because the first thing and I don't usually do this when we record an episode, but the first thing I did was I opened IMDb to get the ritual ready because I don't fucking remember any of the characters.
Oh man,
So it's
no.
Luke. Rafe Spall is Luke, and I wanted to talk about Hutch as well, who's the one that takes charge when shit hits the fan and stuff. But yeah, so there is kind of this interesting hook and there's this banter which you say at the pub at the beginning, and then flash forward, they're in Sweden or some Scandinavian country.
Just say Sweden. Is it? Actually, I don't know now.
Sweden, yeah, yeah, Sweden,
This the woods. It don't matter.
yeah, and and then nothing really comes of it. They have shit starts happening on the first night. When shit hits the fan, they start arguing. Obviously, it comes into light that his mates blame him for the other mate dying.
Yeah,
But none of the characters are really used at all. The only one that really has any sort of substance to him is Luke, and that's because he's the one going through this arc. And I mean,
yeah.
it's a simple film, like it's very short, so there's not a
I
lot of
feel
room
like
to
we're
breathe.
speaking a bit too negatively about it. We're supposed to be talking about two films that make a good double bill, and it is a good film. When it gets to the horror stuff is really well done. So don't be put off by us saying the characters are not well fleshed out. That's just circumstantial. It doesn't make it any less of a good horror film.
No, yeah, that's true. I think I just definitely agree with your point that they're not
Yeah.
very
I just
engaging
don't want people
characters.
to not watch it because we're talking shit about it because it's not what we want from the show.
Yeah.
But
Also,
yeah,
definitely watch all of David Bruckner's films because he's great. Even the Hellraiser reboot, which is all right.
it's all right. Yeah. Tell you what was really good. He directed Southbound, the anthology one.
Yeah,
That was
great,
fucking great.
great
Yeah, he's
film.
done some really good films. Like
So
he's a good director for
he
sure.
did so he did Night House, which is Rebecca Hall. Rebecca Hall is
I've
my
not seen that yet.
one of my most favorite actors who people just don't know about. She's in the Godzilla films now, I think. Um, Night House is a fantastic horror allegory for mental health issues. Really, really good. He also directed Amateur Night, which is basically the calling card of the entire VHS
Oh, did
series.
he do that? The first
Yeah,
one
the first film in the first anthology of VHS
with the siren in it.
with the siren. Yeah.
Oh wow. So he didn't direct the feature of that then, because the feature came after, didn't it?
God, I always forget there's a main feature of
It's
it.
called Siren, I think. Is
Yeah,
it?
I don't think
I
so.
can't remember.
I don't think he directed it.
No. Hannah
But yeah.
Rose Fearman, that's her name. She played it's Lilith, isn't it? The Lilith from old, like sort of pre-biblical Lilith. That's the character she's meant to play. She plays Lily in Siren. Siren's really fun. It's just like a longer version of that segment,
Oh
essentially.
wow, he directed The Signal.
Yeah, that was the other one I was trying to remember. We love the
That's
signal.
that yeah, because that's the first. Isn't that the first film from the Radio Silence who did
Yeah,
the
I think
Scream
so.
films and
Yeah, we
very
talked about
very
this
cool.
before. Yeah, we this is what I was yeah, he does some really good films. Southbound is great. Night House, you're saying is great. I haven't watched it, and the signal's fucking great. That we should do that in Pontypool together. That would be a great double bill.
Yeah, very very cool double bill.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
always think of the double bills. That's your job. It's and you're good at it.
Thanks, mate. Well,
Yeah.
it's because I have nothing else to offer. I can come up with an idea and let you talk about all the film shit. I just go, well, I think the monster's good. You talk
The
about
mo-
film things.
the
I don't
monster is
understand.
good.
Well, it is in this.
So it's
Um,
Morder, the child of Loki, a Jotun.
yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. It's really fucked up looking weird thing. Can we just say as well? You were saying like night one, bad things happen. They start arguing. Also, a tent gets fucked up one night. Someone runs off and disappears. There are places where you could just be watching the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, 100%.
And they find a weird old cabin in the woods. It's so much of it is clearly lifted or influenced by the Blair Witch Project.
I do like the structure. I like. So we got the inciting incident, which is the mate dying in Tesco. I assume it's Tesco because Tesco's rough,
It's quite small,
but
isn't it? Is it as Tesco? It seems like more
could
like a
could be a
local off license.
could be a Tesco Express.
It could be.
Um, so it's Tesco Express. Then we're in Scandinavia.
Yeah,
First night, they're like, "Oh, look at this nice, creepy as fuck lodge. Let's stay in it."
yeah. Let's go in it. I mean, I love finding a weird, ropey looking old fucking cabin in the woods. I would absolutely
Yeah,
go in it.
and
Um,
then and then after the first night, they've obviously been marked, and then the rest of it is they're getting picked off one by one by
yeah,
something.
by something which turns out to be this kind of bastard offspring of Loki deity thing.
Yeah,
Um,
which makes the denizens of this weird village immortal.
Yeah, so it goes back into folk horror there because these people are once more transgressing it. They're unwelcome outsiders into this community, folk,
Well,
if you will.
so, yeah, folk. It has folk in it, folk horror.
Yeah,
Um, so something I'm only just realizing now because of the observation you made for the end of Kill List, where is he becoming the leader or something like that? It's interesting that both films are about outsiders encroaching on this folkloric kind of ideological kind of place and then becoming a part of it or being elected into it. Because in the ritual, Luke is marked, uh, and then later on you find out the old woman comes up to him, and you find out that when the beastie comes, it's killed all his mates, but when the beastie comes, if he bows to it, he gets to be part of the village. So he's
yeah,
actually, much like in Kill List, at the end of all this horrible misery, one of his choices is to just join with the bad guys.
yeah. And then, well, he does, doesn't he? And then I mean, he ends up being the last man standing, and this is where the metaphor comes in a bit more heavily, doesn't it, for the PTSD? Because he finally kind of he lets go of it, like he's literally and symbolically, like he ends up he runs away and this fucking thing's chasing him, and it's like it's such a cool monster. It's like kind of like a giant deer that's got
Yeah,
like a human torso, like a kind of like a centaur kind of thing, but then it doubles back on itself and reveals like six arms and shit, like a fucking
it,
beetle.
he's got too many fucking arms.
It
He's
has
got
got too
arms on
many
his
arms,
face.
but yeah, he's got arms that come out of his face. He's got weird eyes, but it's very difficult to explain what this monster looks like, but it is fucking sick.
Concept
And
art
then
by Keith Thompson, who worked a lot on Guillermo del Toro films. He's a great artist.
I mean, that shines. It looks exactly like something you would find in a Guillermo del Toro film.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that you'd be walking around that market in Hellboy 2. That the troll market or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's the second time we've mentioned Hellboy 2 tonight that I've mentioned it.
Because
So
Hellboy
shut the
2 is
fuck up about
great.
Hellboy. Well, yeah, but I should stop. Um, so they find what was I saying? He runs off. Basically, at the end, he runs off, and the monster, it seems, cannot escape the wood. The wood is sort of intrinsically linked, isn't it, to the monster, and the people live in the woods in the town. I
Yeah.
assume they can't leave either because they've been there forever because they're immortal. But he runs out, and the monster is basically stood in the woods looking at him, and he kind of screams at it, and that's, I think, fairly heavy-handedly, but that's him obviously letting go of his guilt about his friend dying at the beginning.
It's it's kind of comedic that if that is the point, all his other mates had to die for him to get
Well,
get that
that's it.
place in his
Yeah,
journey.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I got from it. I could be wrong, but that's what it felt like. But I suppose in a way, he's kind of he chooses because you feel like he's kind of self-destructing quite a bit, and he chooses to live on kind of in honor of his friends. So that's how he kind of redeems himself,
Yeah.
I think.
I like his character turn in that obviously by conventional terms, I'm not saying he is, but by conventional terms, he starts the film as a coward. I find it quite interesting. I don't know if this was intentional in the writing, and this is a very British dynamic, but his character is teased right before the incident in Tesco Express. Uh, he orders a pint and he's got too much head on it, and he makes a comment about the head, but he takes the pint anyway.
Yeah,
So I chose that as a very subtle indicator of his character because there's
or
people
being a
that
bit of a
would
wanker.
there's people that would say got a bit of an head on that, mate. Can you top it up? And then
Yeah,
there's people that would complain about it and then take the pint anyway. And he was the latter. And I think that's immediately followed by him kind of,
standing down essentially.
standing down. Yeah,
Yeah,
standing down
right. I
from a
get you.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then when he has his finally get some bollocks in the first, and I am saying I'm using the joke that he's a coward, and you're not a coward if you
no,
hide when people with knives are robbing a store that you're in.
no.
But he gets a bit of a head on towards the end of the film, and he burns down. It's a really cool scene where they walk in, and it's almost like oldie worldy cocoons, and you get the impression that these people are immortal. So this is what happens to them when something bad happens. They're
Yeah, because
like
there's a bit where
preserved.
like some of them, you find someone they start moving, don't they? Like they're just basically cadavers, but they're still somehow kind of alive, which is really
Yeah,
horrifying in
like is
itself.
that a punishment or is
Yeah,
that if you've got something that you can't because they can't die, but if you have something
yeah,
that's so debilitating that you
yeah.
you
You can
just
waste away, but never actually die from it, so you're just fucked.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
horrible, isn't it?
he gets these, he burns them down, and then he comes up to the old woman, the little old lady that's cast her opinion on him earlier on, and he just fucking lamps her, and it's my
Yeah, he
favorite bit in
does.
the movie.
Yeah, killing kids, punching old women. That's what we're all about on this show. That's where we
Yeah,
get the lols.
it was just a really
It was a
great
good
moment.
moment. She was a piece of shit. She deserved to get punched in the face.
Exactly, yeah. Um, but
You know,
yeah,
one.
it's
Sorry, go on.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to say one bit we didn't mention, and I'd like to link it back to something else. Two things I wanted to say before we close up. The bit in the shack when they stay there overnight for the first time, very unwisely as it turns out.
Yeah.
Genuinely great horror scene. Really fucking massive sense of dread in that. Like there's one of the guys, there's like an effigy thing in it upstairs that is really weird, which turns out to be an effigy of this deer thing, but you don't know that. So one of them basically wakes up in front of this weird effigy in the middle of the night, doesn't know how he's got there. Palpable sense of dread. And it reminded me a bit of Incantation, the one from
Oh, that's a
2021.
great
There's like
film.
a whole bit like that in there where people get freaked out by this thing, this statue, and they don't know why. It's like something's gone into their mind, and that sense of dread was really palpable in both those scenes.
See, going back to the criticisms, that's one of the things that annoyed me. Like one that guy's a really good actor. The guy that ends up naked praying to the thing.
Yeah,
They don't really do anything with that.
no,
It feels like Rafe Spall's character is being groomed to be adopted into this community, and all of his mates are just surplus to requirements, which I guess works in the context of the story. But as a viewer, you want more things to happen. I don't know.
yeah, no, I agree. There was a lot of opportunity there that was a bit wasted, and it's again absolutely doesn't make it a bad film. It's a good horror film,
It's
but don't not watch it on our account.
well the combination of our praise and our criticism. I think it's quite prominent in the scene where army stag monster thing
Army, like the
presents
military
itself.
thing.
Yeah, army stag. Yeah, army stag. Um, presents itself to the last mate standing,
Yeah,
the geeky fella. They're all archetypes. But
yeah,
he's
there
the
are
geeky
some.
fella.
There are absolutely some lads.
Yeah, yeah. Presents to him as his wife, which is a really creepy moment, really horrible.
Yeah.
Like he's talking to his wife, and then all of a sudden it turns into
Yeah.
the weird monster thing.
Yeah, he's not seeing the thing, he's seeing her because that's what it's showing him. Yeah.
And I think that might have been a lot more, that might have carried a lot more power if we cared a bit more about this character.
Yeah, and you don't know why it's showing him that. Is there something hidden there? Like, has he got some guilt there for not being there, or is it just because it wants to fuck with him? It's kind of, I don't know. It's a bit.
I'm
Why
sure in
was
like this, in the scene previous, he asked Rafe Spall to say, "Oh, tell
yeah?
my wife I love her,"
Tell
and
my wife
then
I love her. Yeah, basically.
at no other point in the film does he talk about his wife.
Yeah. It's a bit strange, isn't it?
And the other
It
guys just get pinned to a tree, so he's the only one that gets a meaningful death.
like a Shrike. Yeah, it's a shame in some ways. I think that it's just a bit of bad characterization, isn't it?
Yeah,
But overall, a solid horror film, and would make a good double bill with Kill List, I think. Ironically though, while I was watching Kill List, I thought of what I think would actually make a better companion piece to Kill List. Would have been
what?
Angel Heart.
Oh, what an absolutely classic film.
Yeah, but I might, the parallels there. What a great companion piece that would have made as well. So if you fancy a triple bill, I mean, watch The Ritual and Kill List, obviously. But if you fancy something different, Angel Heart, not a folk horror, by the way, would work very well with Kill List, in my opinion. Should we leave it
Yeah.
there?
Is Angel Hat right? Hear me out.
Yeah.
Is Angel Hat not a folk horror?
Well, actually, maybe it is. I don't.
It,
It's been a long time
like
since
it
I've seen
heavily
it, but
explores. So it explores the Haitian voodoo
it does.
ideology, like folklore,
I suppose
and it has
actually
an
Mickey Rourke
outsider.
is transgressing on them, isn't he? Because he's not particularly welcome. He's like a weird
He's not.
investigator.
No,
You
he's
know
not.
what?
And then in the end, he ends up being he ends up being
Don't spoil Angel Heart because we've
some,
not covered it. Hang
yeah.
on. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So actually, you know what? Yeah. So who am I to criticize what other people are thinking about folk horror when I can't even decide whether Angel Heart's a folk horror? It could actually well be a folk horror, but it would be a great double bill with Kill List, as would The Ritual, and we'll leave it there. I think.
Yeah.
What were we doing next time? Did we say?
Something fun.
I know, but we said. I mean, I initially proposed Night of the Creeps and Slither, but you want to watch the new 4K Slither, don't you? First?
Yes. So
it's not
just
that.
after we plan to record the next episode, there is a big 4K release of Slither, and I want to watch it. And
that's coming next month, so we're not doing it next.
Yeah, we'll probably do it in the future.
Yeah, but what was? I'm sure we'd come up with something else, didn't we? I can't remember what it was now.
Nice films.
I'll think of something. Anyway, thanks for tuning in as usual. Let us know if you follow me on Instagram or Ken, not the Morgue account because that's not there. Email us, leave a comment on Spotify.
The Frighteners and Beetlejuice.
The Frighteners and Beetlejuice. That was it. What a fun time we will have.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in next time for us to cover The Frighteners and Beetlejuice. Let us know what you think of those films, and we'll read it out because that's what we like doing. Let us know how you feel about the show in general. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon. Take care.
Goodbye.
Live from Manchester Morgue is an independent horror movie podcast, researched, written, produced and hosted by Gary Hames and Ken Talbot. New episodes air every 2 weeks on Spotify, Apple, YouTube and all major podcast providers. You can help us grow by leaving a rating or sharing the show with like-minded friends. If you want to get in touch, you can leave us a comment or email us at killertunes976@gmail.com.